Hello, everyone. So we have two goals in this class. Number one, we will learn specific techniques that will enable us to organize our energy in a specific way with a specific structure that will help us to distinguish the different taste and feel of a perception when it is accurate, when it is true, as opposed to when it is distorted by our assumptions that come along with our personal story and our judgments and our concepts that we have gained, from a lifetime of adjusting to the things that have come our way. And we will essentially learn the different way information feels when it is colored by our own stuff, our personal history, our assumptions. And when it is clear and undistorted by anything that is personal and that is tainted with an objective, a projection, a need to have something be a certain way. And the other aspect of what we will learn is how to become actors in energy space. That is to say, how we can alter energetic patterns and harmonize energy and actually create energy patterns instead of being a passive witness and consumer, in a sense, of energy. And we will learn techniques that will enable us to do readings and healings on ourselves and other people and on our friends with four legs, on our pets and our beloved animals, and on events. And what these readings involve is a way to see more deeply into the stuck places, the contracted places that prevent us from experiencing life with the fullness and the spaciousness that is possible. And these stuck places are called vrittis in Sanskrit, and they are assumptions about reality or conclusions about the way things are, or convictions or beliefs that lodge in our energy system and block the free flow of our energy and of our perceptions. And the reason that they're there is because there was some event that happened to us at a time when we did not have the tools to understand it or process it. We didn't have the larger context of wisdom and knowing and understanding of the whole that was sufficient for us to make sense of what was happening to us. So we reacted by preserving the event and the sense that we made of the event at that time as an energetic memory or a pattern, as a vritti. And that energetic pattern lodged in our energy body, and it determines what we make of similar events. And in that way, it determines our actions and the way we live out our lives. And very often these pictures or energy patterns so constrict the flow of our perceptions that they can lead to great emotional and physical discomfort and blockage. Essentially, the energy just keeps going round and round in this pattern. And what we do in readings and healings is to cultivate within our own subtle bodies a perspective of clear seeing and of non-judgment and of accuracy. And then we can discover the event that caused these beliefs to form and see where they came from and understand why they're there. And then we can introduce a new context and provide a clarity and a wisdom and a knowing and a new energy that bathes them in a new way of understanding and a new way of being held. And when that happens, they release and they melt away. And we are literally new beings going forward because we have let these blocks go. And we are much more free to reflect the real world as it is, not as we see it through the distorted lens of what we created in order to just get through. And the reason we can let them go, and really the only reason they're there in the first place, is that we need the information that they hold. We could not process the information at the time, so we created these energy patterns to hold on to the information until we could process it. And because they hold information that is vital to us, they are a gift, really, and a precious opportunity to bring us to a new discovery and a new way of seeing and a new quality of of being able to be expansive and spacious in the presence of events that are similar. So they're really important and they're essential, and they bring us to a place of wisdom once we can see them and bathe them in this new context of a loving clarity, a loving understanding, a loving wisdom. And then they can release, let go, and we can begin to live our lives with more freedom and more creativity, and we can evolve a deeper understanding of the complexity of the true nature of the world, because we are not weighed down and our energy isn't trying to get through all of this condensation, all of this constriction. So what we'll learn in the classes is how to set up our energy so that we can see and heal these patterns, and so that we can tell the difference when we are seeing through our own distortions or when we're seeing without them. And that's number one, but there's also another aspect to what we do. And as so many things in the class, I'd like to approach it through experiencing it rather than trying to understand it through concepts. So if you're willing, just sit quietly for a minute and close your eyes and just relax, sink deep into yourself. And I'd like to ask you the question, do you exist? And if you think you exist, how do you know you exist? So just experience this for a minute. How is it that you know that you exist? So just feel into the answer to that question. And now, who is it that knows you exist? Who is it that is perceiving that you exist right now? Who is it that is perceiving your existence? And when you feel into that, who it is, that is knowing that you exist, that knower. What you are experiencing is yourself as awareness, yourself as consciousness. So you're experiencing awareness itself, consciousness itself, when you experience that who knows you exist. So you can open your eyes, and we were tasting a little bit of the miracle of who we are, which is to say, the fact that we actually live on many dimensions. And the underlying reality of who we are is consciousness itself. Consciousness is the thing that makes all life possible. It is life, and it is the first thing that exists, and it was never created, and it never disappears. It is what is. It is beingness itself. And then in the scheme of things, it so happens that consciousness condensed or contracted into what we call the causal realm. And then the causal realm contracted or condensed into what became the realm of subtle energy. And then subtle energy contracted further to create the physical realm, where we exist as unique and separate beings with personal histories and a body and all the things that we enjoy on the physical realm. And the miracle is that we can actually experience ourselves in each of these realms because we exist in each of these realms. We are not simply individuals, we are consciousness living out a human journey. So we are consciousness experiencing life through the human experience. And so we can experience ourselves as the unique and creative and wonderful human beings that we are, but we can also experience ourselves as a subtle energy body that organizes our reality. And we can also experience ourselves as awareness, as consciousness itself. And we can experience all that because we are that. So in these classes, we will also hone our ability and make us more sensitive to our nature on all of these levels. And this sensitivity to the fact that we have a reality in more than just our physical body and our personal story allows us to live out the adventure of a human life with a kind of freedom and creativity that is possible because of our understanding of this depth and because of our ability to be present in all those levels and to touch all those levels. So if you'd like to join us, we'd love to have you, and love to have you join our adventure as companions on the way. And thank you very much for your presence.